Reflective today because here it is, April 25th, and it is my last full day here in Krabi, Thailand, where I will be then flying up to Bangkok tomorrow afternoon if everything goes well. My goal is to go home for the summer and visit family and friends and take care of business that I have to do. But I just have to laugh because it seems like everything's coming to a head. My Thai number is, or my Thai phone is kind of dying, which it didn't know that I was leaving today. So I find it odd that it would choose this particular day to die when I do need to get some important codes from it. So I'm kind of laughing about that. I got a COVID test first thing this morning, which if you haven't had one of those yet, I highly recommend it. It's before you can fly, you have to get a negative COVID test. And so I think it might have been the woman's first time, the nurse who did it, because I don't think she realized that she could stop when she felt a little resistance from my brain, and she just kept on going and going. And anyway, it was a little more painful than I realized, but it's definitely important. And I will go at 1 a.m. to go pick up my results. So I'm just trusting that they're going to be negative. It's the first time I've wanted to fail a test or have a negative outcome. Anyway, I'm living in the little zone of uncertainty because my flight for tomorrow, which was supposed to be like at 9:50 a.m., so I would have gotten my test results and then taken off to the airport somewhat. Well, that was canceled. And I kind of feel like I'm trying to get out of the house of falling cards as things are falling around me, because I made these plans to go home a month ago. But in that month's time, we've had a huge New Year's celebration, which means that people traveled all over the country. And they also spread the virus. So we have over 2,800 cases today, which is quite a bit for Thailand. And the government is contemplating going back into a lockdown. And so I just need to be able to get out before the flights are canceled, like my one was already, and I quickly booked on to another airline. So it's kind of a bit of a dance right now, but I guess the message that I wanted to share was being in that of trust, to know that sometimes we don't have any answers. We don't have certainty. Certainty is basically an illusion. And so when you realize that everything you could do is kind of just going on your next internal instinct, that GPS within, your God positioning system, to figure out what you need to do, then I think that's the best we can do at the time. So I'm standing in this moment of trust, knowing that everything's going to work out. I know it will. And it might not unfold exactly as I had intended. In fact, it already hasn't. But living in the question of, oh, so this is part of my experience? Or I hadn't realized that this is something that I get to experience on my path as well. So the Buddha said, nothing matters unless you make it. And so I'm looking at how I react to the situations right now that are unfolding rather than trying to respond. So I want to come from that place of responding in a calm, peaceful way. And instead of reacting like I did when I first found out my flight was canceled and they didn't notify me. And so only through checking in did I know that I had no flight tomorrow. Anyway, it's a journey, and that's part of life. And so I wish you all well, regardless of where you are in your journey and how much is going on that appears crazy or has the illusion of chaos. Because once again, out of chaos, there comes a beauty, a perfection, and a wisdom that we couldn't get any other way. So I want to leave you on that note and hope to see you all real soon in person, wherever you are listening from. It will depend, But I look forward to connecting with loved ones and then coming back to Thailand after the brief respite back home in California. Take care. Namaste.